Hiya, I hope you're keeping well. Today I'm just going to do a quick rosacea catch-up chat, in particular with a few key tips that I think are really helpful for this time of year. If you don't know what rosacea is, it's a condition that can cause redness and flushing and texture and lots of kind of irritation in the skin, I would say. And lots of people I speak to on here have rosacea. I have two types of rosacea, one that makes my skin flush and look quite red, and another one that can come up quite textured in the skin. I think this time of year can really bring out that redness, that sensitivity. And I thought I would just recap on a few basic rosacea principles, because I feel like time and time again I meet new people that want to discuss rosacea. So I like to share things that dermatologists and doctors have told me. I'm not a doctor, I'm in no way able to diagnose you, and I would first and foremost really recommend that if you think you have rosacea, get it seen by a doctor, because I can share a few tips and tricks that people recommend, but ultimately your skin is completely personal to you, and the best thing to do is get an absolute expert to look at that for you. In terms of the research I've done around rosacea, there are a few key things that can really help if you're struggling with your skin at the moment. So first of all, it's not absolutely fail safe, but it's a great place to start. Have a little look at how much fragrance is in your skincare. And if possible, try and stick to a routine that's relatively fragrance free. Fragrance is quite a known irritant of rosacea. And while that's not true of every single thing in my skincare collection, you know, some things do have fragrance in them. Most of them I use are fragrance free. And that, when I first made that change, initially really helped to calm things down. Another thing I would recommend if you think you have rosacea or you want to reduce the appearance of it, cut back as much as you can. You don't need a 12-step skincare routine. A great cleanser, a great moisturiser and a sun cream for the daytime is more than enough for you, especially if you're finding your skin is, you know, going through a bit of a hard time. By all means, if you have redness or rosacea, you can use your active ingredients, you can exfoliate, you can use retinol, whatever you want to do. Again, I would come back to the fact that your skin is completely unique and you will have to discuss that with your doctor to see what works best for you. But as a general rule, something that I've definitely been told by many experts in skin is that if your skin is flared up or particularly irritated or angry, then avoid the active ingredients until it's calmed down again and just really take it back to basics. As a kind of guide to what I take my makeup off with, I'll be honest with you, when I first got diagnosed, I was told cut out all the cleansing oils, cut out anything like that and use a cream and really gently take your makeup off. That's probably the thing that I have strayed from a good bit. So I do sometimes use a cleansing oil. I do actually use the really soft microfiber flannels, so that you can actually remove your makeup just with water if you want to. But if you team that soft flannel with something like a cream, it just makes it that bit easier and quicker. However, in a dream scenario, you wouldn't use a flannel or anything abrasive. Just use that kind of cleansing cream and your hands and gently massage your makeup off. But as I say, that is what I do a lot of the time. But on the days that I just want to get my makeup off quickly, we all have those days, I will use a cloth or maybe a cleansing oil or something that bit quicker. I don't want to come on here and wax lyrical about all these steps that I'm doing when I know I've got a cleansing oil upstairs that I sometimes use, you know, so I'd rather just have that open chat. One of the things that I've found since kind of discovering my rosacea and learning more about it and all the rest of it, a couple of things actually. I always go on about her, but my friend Lex has a whole blog dedicated to rosacea. So if there's a particular topic you're interested in reading up on, or you've got a particular question or anything like that, her blog is called Talented Lex. And honestly, like, just have a big read of it before you do anything else, because she's covered everything. And she also, on her Instagram, if you go onto her profile and you've got like the highlights along the top, she's got all the key things that people ask there. So you might be thinking, okay, what's the best foundation to use if I have rosacea? She's probably already got something about that. So just have a little deep dive. She also has, I wish I had them to hand, her own company called the Real Skin Club. She just has lots of positive affirmations and things to encourage great mental well-being about rosacea. Someone pointed out to me years ago, not even years ago, just a while ago, they said all you ever see when you Google rosacea is negative stuff. And it's something that's really stuck with me, because you see all of these articles. I actually had someone leave me a really, I know they meant well, but a really quite strong comment recently about rosacea. And I just thought, you didn't need to do that. Like, I know what rosacea is. I don't need all of this like absolute negative stuff thrown at me. And I personally, I just think, you know, there's ways around it. Yes, we're all going to have a flare up sometimes. You're not going to have a good skin day. My skin isn't the best at the moment, but you can cover it with makeup. You can, you know, change your diet for that week that you want to have a good skin day and avoid things that you know trigger it. There are things you can do to really make this manageable. And I really want you to take away from this that this is manageable. Yes, you've got redness, you've got rosacea. If you do have that, you can absolutely manage it and make it a lot better. Recently, I've worked with a brilliant team behind this campaign, Rosacea Beyond the Visible. They have essentially, they're a team of, you know, experts, doctors, dermatologists, you name it. They've done a lot of research into rosacea, and in particular into a patient's journey if they go to the doctor to discuss the rosacea. And one of the things that they found was that if you're going to the doctor for the first time because you have rosacea, you might just be going and saying, I've got these things in my skin that are presenting like redness, but have you remembered to say how it's impacted your self-esteem? Have you remembered to say that you were upset when someone made a bad comment? Have you remembered whatever it is that your journey looks like? They recognise that there is a huge emotional impact that comes with having rosacea, and they made this document that I think is brilliant, that it's almost like a questionnaire that you can fill out and say all of these things. It's kind of, they'll ask you the questions so that you can go to the doctor prepared with the information to say, I had 3 flare-ups last week, my skin is textured and flaring up, I've got it around my eyes, it makes me feel down, it makes me feel whatever it might be for you, because you might not think to articulate it in that way, but when you look at it on this sheet of paper, these are really real and really valid parts of having any kind of skin condition. But one of the things I'm really passionate to emphasise, I speak to so many people that have just kind of resigned themselves to the fact that this is what their skin looks like and there's nothing that can be done and it's distressing and all the rest of it. There are so many great things that a doctor can do to help you work with your skin, and don't feel, you know, embarrassed or ashamed to go and ask for this, because a number of people have said to me in the past, I don't want to waste a doctor's time, it's a trivial thing to go for. But ultimately, if you broke your arm or your wrist or something, you'd go to the doctor. And also, if this is impacting how you feel in yourself and your self-esteem and, you know, your day-to-day, then it's absolutely something to go to the doctor for. In particular, because I know, having been to the doctor myself and used, at the moment I'm not using any creams from the doctor because I went before, they worked so well that I saw such an improvement, I was able to come off them, kind of a thing. That's just my experience. I wouldn't rule out going again. There are really quick fixes. You might be upset about this thing that you think is, you know, not going to be solved, and it actually can be. So, key takeaway, if you're new here, you can expect makeup tips and tricks to cover in rosacea. I've got loads of videos already in a rosacea playlist on YouTube and on Instagram with loads of skin recommendations. So I hope you don't mind that I don't go back to each individual message with a full list of my routine. It's just that it's already in those videos, and by all means, I try and actually pad them out with loads of suggestions so that you've got loads of options to think, well, that one sounds like it'll work for me. Because I don't know what texture of moisturiser you like, I don't know your lifestyle, I don't know how best to advise you one-on-one, but I can give you all of the information, and then you can pick the things that seem to resonate and work best for you. But I will put a link in the description of this video to that form. So if you're thinking of having a conversation with someone or going to the doctor, just have a look at it. It'll help you to articulate everything that's going on with your skin. Just know as well that doctors are aware that previously there hasn't been enough kind of knowledge and education around rosacea and how to have a conversation about it, how to deal with it. And they're all really, really conscious that they want your experience of visiting a doctor to go as smoothly as it can and give you the support that, you know, they want you to have. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I'd love to know actually if you're using anything in particular that's working really well for you, because I'm sure someone else would love to hear about that as well. And I'll talk to you soon.